Hi everyone, we would be trying to solve this problem, example problem using the cutting plane algorithm. So we are now on integer programming. But basically medyo same lang naman din yung process niya kay linear. May konting tweak lang. Okay, so let's start by following this instruction or steps for the cutting plane algorithm. So step 1 is to relax the integer requirements. So this just means that you have to try to convert your non-equality signs to equality signs, which is what is shown na on my step 1. Okay, so I have already converted and added S values, both in my constraints and my objective functions. Next, we'll do the step 2. Okay? Step 2 is solve using the simplex problem. So, we'll have the initial tableau. Okay? So, let me just pause the video and I'll be back with the full-blown initial tableau. Okay, so I'm back. So here is your initial tableau. So we have here our values from our coefficients from our relaxed example. So, in-input nyo lang yun dito. Tapos, next, identify natin yung entering variable. So, for our entering variable, recall, nakabase yun sa Cj minus Zj na maximum. Okay? So, ang maximum natin sa Cj minus Zj values natin is C8. Okay? So, ito yung ating entering variable. Mark lang natin. And identify natin si leaving variable by the ratio. So, that would be solution over your entering variable column. So, dito naman, recall, minimum ang pinipili natin. So, minimum ng 4 at 10 ay 4. So, ito yung ating leaving variable. Okay, next, let's set up our second tableau. So, here is our second tableau, first iteration. So, we have here a blank muna para syempre lalagyan muna natin para recall na din sa inyong simplex method. Ano? Okay, so this is our pivot element. So, ang goal natin is 1 siya. Okay, so therefore, row 1's formula would be equal to divided by 2. Okay? So, row 1 over 2 ang ating formula. In my case, naka-formula naman ako. Let me just stick on the dollar sign for yung mga pag-dollar sign. Okay, para hindi gumalaw yung formula ko. So again, our row 1's formula would be, I'll place it here para tandaan nyo. So row 1 over 2. Okay, so row 1 over 2, copy ko lang sa buo, and also here. Okay, so next, what would be our formula here? Okay, so our formula here would be, okay, so formula would be old na row 2 minus 1, kasi 1 yung value natin dito, times new row 1. 1. So, let's recheck. Okay, so let's recheck kung magze-zero siya. Goal mo kasi ay mag-zero. So, old row 2 minus 1. So, hindi ko siya ilalagay kasi 1 lang naman. Times new row 2. Okay. So, minus lang natin. So, 0 siya. So, copy ko lang across all sides. So, here is my first iteration. So, ito naman naka-formula pa rin to. Oops. Naka-stick nga pala ako. Baba ko lang siya. Okay, and rechecking kung tama pa ang formulas. Okay. So next, we can now proceed to identifying our entering variable na ulit. Okay. So on our case, ang maximum positive here is si 1. Okay. So ito ang ating entering variable. Identify natin si leaving variable. Leaving variable is equal to okay. So, syempre, mas maliit ito, pero positive naman siya. Pero mas maliit ito. Okay. So, ito ang ating leaving variable. Okay. So, let's proceed to our next table. Okay. So, we have here our next tableau. So, this is the second iteration. So, let's have the formula here. So, since ito ang ating pivot row, so dito tayo magsa-start. So, OR2 over 3 and 1/2. 3.5. Okay. So, kunin natin siya over siya din. Okay. So, lagyan ko lang ng dollar sign para hindi na mag-move. To those who are wondering, ba't ako naglalagay ng dollar sign? Para mag-stick yung formula kasi naka-Excel ako. Okay, so para pag kahit i-drag ko siya, ay naka-stick pa rin siya dun sa 3 and 1/2 na denominator. Okay? So next, formula for the R1. So R1, so old R1 minus, okay, yung value ng old R1, yung constant niya doon, nakatapat ng inyong pivot element. Okay, so that would be 0.5 kasi 1/2 times new row 1, new row 2. Okay, so let's test kung magsi-0. So 1/2 minus 1/2 din. Okay, lagyan natin ng constant to dahil ito ay constant. Okay. Then times new row 1. New row 2 pala. Sorry. 0. So drag lang natin. So we have here our new second iteration, new tableau. Okay, so as we can see here, medyo parang wala na siyang negative sign. I mean, wala na siyang positive. So wala na tayong makukuhang entering variable dito sa CJ minus AJ natin. Okay? But upon checking, so okay naman siya. The current solution for the optimal linear programming is 3, itong 3, x2's value is 3 and 1/7 and 1 and 5/7 with an expected profit of, sorry, hindi ako ng formula here, with an expected profit solution of, so here is your expected profit. So, para sa nagtatanong, so, recall, minumultiply lang din naman yung dalawang yan. Or some product, pwede rin naman. Okay, so let's go to step 3. Okay, so sabi ni step 3, if all the basic variables have integer values, optimality of the integer programming problem is reached. So go to step 7. Otherwise, go to step 4. But looking at our solution, hindi naman. Kasi yung solutions natin, hindi naman siya integers. Ito yung mga solution natin. Highlight ko na para kita nyo. Okay. So, hindi siya integer. So, therefore, pupunta tayo sa step 4. Okay. So, step 4. Step 4. Okay. Basahin natin yung step 4. Ang sabi sa step 4, examine the constraints corresponding to the current optimal solution for each basic variable with non-integer solution in the current optimal table. Find the fractional part and the integer part. Okay? So, sabi daw, paghiwalayin daw natin yung fraction sa integer. Okay? So, una, identify natin yung mga basic. Okay? Basic variables natin. Okay, basic variables in the in the optimal table. So, pareha naman po. Pareha naman na nasa loob. Lagay natin, baka kayo ma-deceive in the future. Okay. Basic variables in the optimal table are x1 and x2. Okay? Tapos, ang sabi daw, paghiwalayin daw yung integer at saka fractional parts. Okay? So, hiwalayin lang natin. So, lagay natin as f yung fraction and b yung whole number o yung integer. Okay? So, lagay natin. Gitna ko lang ha. Okay. So, b. Okay, let's have the b as the whole number. So, ang whole number natin kay x1 ay 1, tapos kay x2 ay 3. 1, 3. Okay? Ang fraction. Okay, lagay natin yung fraction. Ang fraction natin kay x1 ay 5/7. Oops. So, fraction. Para same format. At saka 1/7. Okay? So, yan. Alam na natin ngayon yung na-segregate na natin yung B at saka yung F as stated in the step 4. So, next, tignan natin kung ano yung step 5. Step 5, choose the largest fraction among the various F. So, max F, treat the constraint corresponding to the maximum fraction as the source row equation. Based on the source equation, develop an additional constraint, which is the Gomori's constraint, fractional cut as shown below. Okay, so una, alamin daw muna natin kung ano yung maximum fraction amongst our choices. Okay, so in our case, step 5, lagay natin sa baba. Step 5. Okay, identify maximum fraction. Okay. Okay, identify maximum fraction. So, sa atin, meron tayong, makikita nyo naman yung value sa taas. Kung sakaling medyo nakakalimutan nyo na kung kung anong mas malaking fraction. Okay, ito, ang equivalent niya ay 0.71. Tapos, yung isa naman, ang equivalent niya ay 0.14. Okay, so therefore, sinasabi natin na ang maximum na fractional part natin is si row x1. Okay, ito ang maximum. Okay, baba lang natin yung ating guide para hindi na tayo paakyat-akyat. Ayan. Ayun. Okay. Next, na-identify na po namin x1 po ang malaking fractional part. Okay? So, sabi daw, mag-create na daw tayo ng additional constraint. Okay? So, based on the source equation, develop an additional constraint, which is the Gomori's constraint. Okay? So, una, identify muna natin yung nasa loob ng fractional na x1. Okay? So, kunin natin yung values ni x1 mula sa ating final table. Okay, so looking at our final table, kuhanin natin yung variables niya. So, we have here una si 12/7 o yung ating final na 157, 15/7. Okay. So, in fraction, 1 plus 5/7 siya. Okay. Is equal to, we have x1. Okay. Is equal to, equal lang. Walang. Okay, so sorry, medyo na-interrupt. Okay, so paghiwa-hiwalay natin, sabi daw kasi ay kunin daw lahat ng values ng fi. So, kukunin ko lahat ng fi muna doon sa linyang to. Okay, so ito x1 equals x1. So, 1 x1. Okay. Then, plus CS2 ay, ang value, ang X2 ay wala naman, so wala siya dyan. Itong S1 ay -1/7. So, ang fractional niya, pwede natin siyang i-convert as mix na 1 plus 6/7. Okay. Wait. Negative yun. Negative. -1 kasi -1/7 yun. Fraction lang natin. Oh, ayan. Nabuo na naman siya. Anyway, so pinaghiwalay ko lang siya kanina pero nabuo na naman siya. Pero pag hiwalay nyo na lang siya, -1 plus 6/7. So, yan. So, ang equivalent niyan ay 1/7 lang din. Okay, next. This is for S1. Indicate that this is for S1. Next, ito naman ay si 2/7. So, wala naman siya. Pwedeng wala na. 2/7. Di 2/7. 2/7 is 2. Okay. So, lagyan natin ngayon ng corresponding fractional cut for our problem. Okay. So, follow natin yung formula niya. Sabi niya, negative f is equal to si minus summation of fi of the non-basic variable. Ang non-basic natin ay itong dalawa. Okay, kaya pinilit kong i-extract yung mga fractional forms niya na hindi whole number. Okay, para naman yun lang yung maisama natin. Okay, so lagay natin siya. So formula would be negative 5/7. Sorry. Okay, negative 5/7 is equal to, okay, so S3. Bakit S3? Kasi may hanggang S2 lang naman tayo. Eh, sabi niya magdagdag daw ng bagong S. Okay, so S3 na yung kasunod. S3, tapos isasama daw natin lahat minus the summation of lahat ng ating fractionals in terms of our non-basic variables. So, sama na natin to. Minus, ito ko na nga ilalagay. Minus 6/7 S1. Again, ang sinama ko lang yung fractional. Tapos, plus 2/7 S2. We checking the signs. Okay, so malamang hindi pasok tong isa kasi kailangan negative. Kasi ang instruction ay minus the summation. Okay? And then, we're done. Okay? So, ito yung pinaka-equation niya. Ito yung pinakabagong constraint natin. So, dapat hindi ko siya pinagsama-sama para hindi kayo malito. Sige, hiwa-hiwalayin ko na. Okay, so yan na yung pinakabago nating constraint based dito sa formula na to. So, negative 5/7 is 3 na bagong variable, tapos minus the summation nung 6/7 at saka 2/7 dito. 2/7 S. Okay, next. Punta na tayo sa step 6. Step 6. Okay, so step 6, Let's have pala siya, parang kakaiba yung tsura. Ayan. Step 6. Step 6, add the fractional cut as the last row in the latest optimal table. So, kunin natin yung latest optimal table. This is the latest optimal table. Kunin ko lang to. Hindi. Ito na lang. Okay. Let's erase this. Oops. Paste ko as values na lang. Sayang naman yung format. Copy ko na lang siya ng separate. Okay. So, sabi daw, i-add daw natin to sa latest o yung pinakahuli nating table. Okay. So, i-add natin siya. So, S3. S3. Okay. Na 0 ang cost. So, pasok lang natin siya. So, 0, 0, tapos S1 na, negative 6/7. Not fraction na naman siya. Okay. Then, ating S2 na negative 2/7. So, ang solution would be, kulang tayo. Kailangan natin ng S3 na bago. So, move ko lang to. So, kailangan ma-declare din sa taas yung bagong nangyari. Ay, nako. Ayan. Okay. So, S3, declare lang natin kasi kailangan din meron siya. Okay. So, S3 for this are 0, 0, tsaka 1. Okay. Tapos, ang solution natin ay itong negative 5/7. Okay, next. So, lagay na natin yung ZJ, tsaka CJ minus ZJ. Oops. Ayusin ko lang to bothered ako, medyo pagulo siya. Okay, so ito na yung pinakabago nating row column. So, sinama na natin yung yung Gomorrah's constant na tinatawag natin. Okay, so next. Fix ko lang siya para maayos tignan. Okay, next. Ang sinabi, nasa step, sana tayo? Step 6, okay, add the fractional cut as the last row in the latest optimal. Okay, and then proceed further using dual simplex na. Okay, dual simplex method and find the new optimum solution. So, kung dual simplex ang pinag-uusapan natin, so therefore, baliktad. Okay, so for our entering variable, ang magiging, for our leaving variable, ang magiging basis natin ay, so itong mga nasa gilid. So, tanggalin ko lang yung color ha, para ma-highlight. Okay, so amongst all the solutions in here, ang ang meron lang negative solution value ay yung kay S3. Okay, S3. So, negative 5/7. So, therefore, siya ang living variable. Again, I'm doing this kasi ang sinabi sa instruction ay we will be doing dual simplex method. And when you're doing dual simplex method, so baliktad, okay? So kung kanina ang tinitingnan nyo, nasa ilalim yung leaving variable, ngayon dito naman sa gilid. Okay? Tapos negative yung basis natin. So again, only the third row or your S3 has a negative solution value. So therefore, si S3 ang ating leaving variable. Okay? So S3 highlight natin, leaving variable. Next, identify naman natin yung entering variable. Pabaliktad ulit. Sa taas naman. Pa-vertical na tingin naman. Okay, so check natin. So we have here, kunin natin yung ratios nila. So ang pagkuha ng ratio sa CJ minus AJ. That's divided by the pivot row. Okay, so kunin natin siya, ratio. So, syempre, huwag nyo na isama yung mga 0. Okay. So, fraction ko lang. Hindi naman ako maka-fraction. Okay. So, ito yung itsura natin. Okay. So, the smallest ratio that we have here is actually 1. Okay. So, therefore, si S2 ang ating variable na mag-e-enter sa ating system. Okay. So, S2 enters into the system. Okay. So, next. Sundan natin siya. So, find the new optimal solution. If the new optimal solution is an integer, go to step 7. Okay? So, dahil hindi pa tayo integer, magsisimula pa lang tayo. Okay? So, ayusin na uli natin siya. I-simplex na natin siya. Okay? So, I have here the next blue. So, ginawa ko na siya with these formulas. Okay? So, para mas mabilis para sa inyong tingin. So, this is the next blue. Yun nga lang, as you can see, so hindi pa rin siya hindi pa rin siya considered as full na wala ng integer. Okay? Or the solution is still non-integer. Okay? So, let's develop a fractional cut. So, tingnan uli natin yung step 4. Okay, balik uli tayo dun sa ginawa natin kanina, which is identifying basis solution yung ating mga fractions. So, let's do the table. So, let's go back to step 4 again. Okay, so identify natin kunin natin yung table kanina. So, kanina, meron tayong x, tanggalin lang natin to ha. Okay, x1, x2, at saka s2, ang ating basic variables. So, ang ating values here, si x1 ay wala siyang fractional form. Si x2 meron pa, 3 at saka 1/2 to. Then, si s2 ay 2 plus 1/2 ang kanyang fractional, ang kanyang fractional form. Okay, so, since same naman ng fractional form yung dalawa, okay, so, we would be choosing 1/2. Okay, pero syempre, mas preferred natin yung fractional part ng x2. Kaya, we would be selecting the row x2 as the source row for developing the cut. Let's highlight x2 para alam natin siya dito. Okay, so balik tayo dun sa next step. So, pwede naman natin i-copy yung step 5 para hindi na tayo malito. Ito ko lang siya down here before the step 5. Okay, so in here, inanalyze pa natin yung kanyang fractional. Pero didiretso na natin mga kapatid kasi nagets na naman natin. Hindi na natin kailangan yung taas. Okay, so kunin natin yung 1/2. Tapos, this would be our S4. Okay, since may S3 na tayo, S4 na ito. Sunod, ay kunin daw natin yung mga fraction ni x2. Okay? Ako, kailangan ko pala yun. Sige na, gagawin ko na. Kunin na muna natin lahat ng x2 na fractions. Okay, si 1/2. So hard in Excel, no? Pero mas better naman to kaysa dun sa stylus pad. Okay. So, ulitin ko lang siya. Okay. So, kunin ko lang yung mga fractions part, ha? Okay. So, kunin ko yung sa dulo, x2 ay 1/2 is equal to. So, ang ating is x1, x2, 0, 1, 1, 0, tsaka negative 1/2. Okay? So, kukunin lang natin yung negative 1/2 na galing sa S3. Negative 1/2. S3. Okay. So, therefore, dito sa baba, S4 lang, at saka yung negative 1/2 S3 ang idadagdag natin. Kasi yun na lang ang may natitira kay X2 na non-integer. Okay? So, therefore, dito sa ilalim, ang magiging kasama lang niya ay negative 1/2 S3. Okay? So, next. So, step 6 ulit tayo. So, step 6, ang sinabi daw ay ilalagay natin to sa table again. Okay? So, from the latest table, ilalagay na uli natin siya. Okay? Let me just do it para hindi na masayang ang inyong data. I'll be back with the final table. Okay, so we're back. So here is our updated table with S4 now. Okay, so same as what we did here. Here pala. So we would have to create yung based on duality. Okay, so kunin natin ngayon yung ating entering variable. So our entering variable would be entering variable. Okay, kunin natin yung entering variable. Divide lang natin siya. But, our pivot row, by the way, this is negative. Okay, kasi negative yung nakalagay dito sa taas. Negative nga ba siya? Yeah, oo, negative yun, friend. Okay, so negative, sorry. The sign here is negative. Okay, so negative F. Okay, kaya negative din to isang ito. Almost forgot that. Guys, don't forget that whenever you're doing the constraint, so laging negative muna yung ating F. So, as what we did here. So, dahil siya na lang ang negative, okay, so therefore, syempre, siya ang ating leaving variable. So, ito yung basis natin. Okay, tapos, ang ating entering variable naka-base uli dun sa Cj minus Zj over the pivot row. ratio. Okay. So, sa atin, ang smallest positive ratio is 2. Okay. So, therefore, C is 3. Ang ating entering variable is 3. Okay. So, gawin na natin yung next table. So, we have here our table. Okay. So, kung mapapansin natin yung solution natin, wala ng decimal or wala ng fraction. So, therefore, finally, okay, using the cutting plane algorithm, we can say that the values of all the basic variables are integers. So, the optimality is reached and the corresponding results are summarized as, okay, so the value of x1 is 0. x1 is equal to 0. x2 is equal to 4. x3, wala namang x3. Okay, basic lang naman. And then z is equal to 32. Okay, so this is our answer.